Conway when he arrives. So maybe Senator Fitzpatrick, you might introduce your particular topic this morning.
Should I just give the Minister a moment? Yeah, okay, I appreciate it, out of order. Gurmagad Kirlock, and thank you, Minister, for being here today. My commencement matter this morning, Minister, is looking for clarity from the Department of Health on their commitment to capital funding for a permanent national day rehabilitative centre for people who have a severe acquired brain injury, and specifically for that funding to be made available to Saol, which is the most amazing service and facility in operation in Santry in North Dublin. Saol is started providing day services to people with severe acquired brain injury in 2020. It was born out of love and necessity, the love of one family for their son and their brother, and the necessity for him to be able to live a life worth living following a severe acquired brain injury. Porrick was a young man who was living his life to the full, and out of nowhere and at absolutely through no act of his own, his life was stopped for a moment. And through the intervention of his parents and his family, despite having a severe acquired brain injury, he is living a full life. And the Shaler family and Saol believe that a life saved is a life worth living. And they are passionate about ensuring that every life that is saved through the amazing advances that have been made with neuroscience and neurotechnology, that every life that is saved following a severe acquired brain injury will be worth living. Saol enables people with severe acquired brain injury to live a fuller life. It provides them and their families with support in the form of therapies, physical therapies, occupational therapies, cognitive therapies, psychotherapies. It's a day centre. It's where people with very severe acquired brain injuries can go, their families can go, and they can receive detailed, specialised, appropriate therapies that help them regain power to live a life worth living. That's not a small thing. It's something we take for granted every single day. We are so privileged and so lucky. But the work that Saol has done is inspirational. It is pioneering. It hasn't been done anyplace else. And since 2020, and from one patient to 4 to 5, 28 individuals and their families have benefited from these transformational services and supports. It's truly inspirational. I would advise anybody to go and visit them. I'm humbled to be able to speak on their behalf. I want to thank the department, the Minister and the HSE for the support they have given to Saol. They've provided the funding. Initially it was a pilot, and that pilot has been extended. The pilot was evaluated by the HSE, and the findings of the pilot are overwhelmingly positive. The findings call for basically a commitment to this service, a permanent commitment for the service, not just in Santry, but I suppose ultimately for it to be rolled out on a national basis. And there is not just the HSE's views, but there are many expert views from all over the world that have examined and evaluated the services being provided, and they have all concluded that these services are groundbreaking and they need to be supported. So my ask today is that the department will commit capital funding for a permanent home for Saol in Dublin.
Thank you. I wish to thank Senator Fitzpatrick for raising this important matter this morning and taking this question on behalf of Minister Rabbitte. Saol provides a valuable service to a number of clients with a severe acquired brain injury, offering an intensive and inclusive neurological and rehabilitation programme informed by best international practice. Funding for individual capital projects is an operational matter for the HSE. The HSE has advised the Department of the position in relation to capital funding as follows. All Exchequer-funded HSE capital projects must be progressed through correct governance procedures in line with HSE protocols and the Public Spending Code. In this regard, when submitting a capital submission for consideration, there must be a full business case in place alongside detailed options appraisal, project brief, robust cost estimates and comparison of various options to ensure the correct project approach is chosen and value for money is secured. Once a project is approved at the HSE's National Capital and Property Steering Committee, it is only approved subject to funding. As there are many competing needs and projects being put forward from around the country, the project is then subject to a prioritisation process each year. Therefore, no funding is allocated to a project until it is prioritised. The prioritisation process for funding allocation in 2024 has already happened and funding allocated accordingly. The Saol development proposal was first highlighted to HSE Capital and Estates in August 2023, and the requirements for a capital submission and a suite of supporting documents were issued at the time. A series of meetings were held between HSE, CHO Dublin North City and County and Saol. Saol has been informed about the process and the requirement for appropriate and detailed submissions in order to ensure that the Saol project is included in the next round of prioritisation for capital funding allocation in 2025. CHO Dublin North City and County also confirmed to Saol they may be assisted to seek seed capital funding to progress the project forward and allow them to engage with all relevant stakeholders regarding suitable sites and other issues to be addressed. HSE Capital and Estates are keen to assist in the project initiation process and have allocated resources to do so, but need to ensure the submission is of sufficient quality and detail to ensure that it is approved subject to funding. The Minister of State for Disabilities holds capital project development in disability services as one of her key priorities and wants to ensure that capital projects are delivered on time, on budget, and that value for money is being achieved so that projects such as Saol can provide valuable services for citizens.
Yeah, Gurmagat, Minister, and I thank you for the reply, and I welcome the commitment from not just the department but also the HSE to supporting this project and to supporting the project progressing through the capital funding to access the capital funding project. It would be important, I suppose, to note that Saol was created from nothing by people who had no resources or expertise in this space. I believe what they've achieved in the 4 years, they can replicate again now in terms of a capital project. I would encourage the department to encourage the HSE to work with them. They have an innovative approach, they are creative people, but it is absolutely validated, the quality of the services provided and the potential for that to be extended nationally. I would also ask that the project is treated not as a local service to North Dublin, where it has been incredibly valuable, but that it is recognised as a national service, because this service has national and international potential. I'll be satisfied if we can get it into the National Capital Project for 2025, but we need to progress this and we need to match their ambition and their energy. Gurmagat.
Minister, final reply.
Thank you, Senator. Rehabilitation services play a critical role in supporting recovery and or maximising ability of those with neurological conditions, including those with acquired brain injury, and the government remains committed to the continued implementation of the neuro rehabilitation strategy. The overarching aim of the strategy is the development of neuro-rehabilitation services to improve patient outcomes by providing safe, high-quality, person-centred neuro-rehabilitation at the lowest appropriate level of complexity. This must be integrated across the care pathway and provided as close to home as possible or in specialist centres where necessary. These services are to be configured into population-based managed clinical rehabilitation networks. The overarching aim is the development of a population-based MCRNs around the country. In delivering on this commitment, additional funding has been provided in successive budgets in order to support the continued rollout of the strategy. In conclusion, the Minister of State for Disabilities would like to assure all that she is very aware that there remains much unmet need in this area, and she is committed to building services and developing better and more accessible supports for people with neurological conditions.
Now we'll return to Senator Martin Conway.